Welcome back to Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Bringing it back. The first one of the year, the Access Houston Roundtable. God, studio full of folks today. So just go around, introduce yourself, starting with you, Sam Blair.
Sam Blair on the air. It's always fun to be here. Can't wait to do the rest of these because we got a long year ahead of us. We're almost at the midway point of Trump, right?
Yeah, midway point, almost the end, but we'll get into that later. Leo?
This is Leola Mariah, also known as Queen Leola, conservative comedian.
Conservative comedian. We got a new face joining us.
What's happening? This is Ben Jackson, a.k.a. Young Simba. Comic. You'll hear from me later.
Okay.
That's all you got.
I'm Big Wheel, journalist, communications specialist, and brother of Queen Leola Mariah.
Welcome to the program.
How y'all doing, everybody? This is Raven. I'm an entrepreneur, investor, and accountant.
Cryptocurrency connoisseur. You got to tell them that part.
Right, all about the Bitcoin, all about the money.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's 50 Cent was brilliant in what he did, but we'll possibly get into that a little later. Well, let's start. It seems as though, Robert Mueller is reeling on in. I mean, they've gotten as close as Jefferson Sessions. Leola, you still believe that it's a nothing burger?
Yes, I still believe it's a nothing
you're
burger.
Absolutely delusional. I feel sorry for
my
mother.
delusion. Did you just talk about my mama?
No, it's a line from a movie.
It's okay to talk about somebody's mama if it's a line from a movie.
Oh, okay. But this is starting to get into the meat and potatoes of what the rest of our presidency is going to look like, and I just can't wait for more stuff to come out.
I wonder what happens when they actually all get sent to prison. Like, will Hillary Clinton get to become president? I wonder how this is going to work because we're getting in so close.
I mean, you guys, we had on the anniversary of Trump being president for a whole year, we had a government shutdown. How appropriate is that? That is great.
I didn't understand the Republicans control all three, and I don't understand how there's a shutdown.
About immigrants, about DACA, about them not. I don't understand. Again, like you said, how is it that you all are supposed to kind of be on the same side and you have the same policies, and yet you can't agree on an immigration policy so that
your party's a wreck.
Oh wait!
Our firefighters don't get paid.
Well, here's the thing with these huge spending bills. I know, KG, you're shaking your head, but they do pack a lot into them. And I think it was kind of great that Trump was saying, no, we're not going to just have this sweeping bill. We need to sit down and have immigration reform.
He needs to figure out what he wants.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. But it's like what he wants and the Republican Party and the American people.
It seems to me like the government's been shut down all of 2017.
But essentially,
right.
I feel like
they got two things done: tax reform, government shutdown. That's it.
Right.
And we needed tax reform.
No, the tax reform is going to be bad later on down the line. Leola, we've seen this movie before. We've seen this movie before.
We have.
And with Bush 43.
Okay. Alrighty. You got it. But I feel like we're in a different time now. Let's just have some faith.
So you mean, okay, so Leola, just think about this. You give a bunch of billionaires and millionaires more money and use this argument that they are going to create more jobs and it's going to trickle down. We tried this before. You're giving billionaires and millionaires a bunch of money. You know what they're going to do? Probably upgrade their pool.
But
they're not going to
so far those businesses
jobs.
have upped minimum wage. And they've had more money to give bonuses.
All of this that is going on, all of this economic growth and boom and bang, everybody wants to. This is because of Obama, okay? Let's not act like that Trump wants to take credit for all of this, everything that's going on.
Okay,
all of this is because of Obama. Everything that's great right now is because of Barack Obama.
Okay, so Apple coming back to this country and doing everything.
Everything.
That's in terms of the economy and the stock market.
Like Steve Jobs.
Everything that's great.
No,
if it's great, Obama.
Okay,
No,
look,
that's what you're
proof in the
saying?
pudding, you
No,
guys.
no. What I said
Okay.
was that the economy and the stock market, with these record numbers and how well everything is doing, Trump wants to take credit for it. It's a lie. This happened under Obama. Obama stepped into the worst situation ever. We were on the verge of being in soup lines.
Well,
it was the Great Recession
but
because of
Take a deep
the
breath of this
trickle
American
down,
air.
because of the
Obama.
trickle down economics that Bush 43 and the Republicans put in the first place that almost crashed, that
Okay,
almost
but
made us
what-
have another
but
Great Depression.
do
So
y'all
now
re-
we're going back to the same
Do
thing.
you
So
remember?
That makes sense to you guys?
No,
explain to me.
But do you
Please
remember when
explain.
Steve
You guys-
when
you
Steve
guys wanna sit
Jobs
here and mock
when
me
Steve
and
no one's
laugh
mocking.
and
I'm
No,
not mocking.
let's-
You
I
know,
think- let's-
explain to me
No,
where I'm
let's
No,
take
but
a
I'm
moment.
saying Steve
Where's the
Jobs.
lie?
I think what
Remember
we
when
are-
Where's the lie?
Steve Jobs said he made a mistake with Obama made a mistake with having those higher taxes, and that's why all these people went to China. So now you have all of those companies coming back, and they're hiring more people, and minimum wage is going up
true.
because of the money that people have. They're cutting taxes on the billionaires. You're right, but you can see where other people are benefiting from this. I have seen property taxes for other people, right? Just for this
And
year.
how much do these other people make a year? Give me
I'm saying
average.
property taxes. If I see property taxes for all like 10, 15, 20 properties, right? In the past, it's been $300,000 to $500,000, and it's knocked all the way down to $200,000. Like that's pretty good.
No, Leo.
But I'm just
I think-
looking at
I
from
think
that's my
you-
business
Americans
perspective.
are making money, and it doesn't matter who's to credit. I think we should just take a moment and say there were some great bipartisan efforts done because people got involved and they were aware.
When?
You know, over the past 4 years. And
I
now
do-
we're
I
seeing
do
the
think
result
there's
of it
more
because people are making
involvement.
money with American trade
But-
and the American stock market.
So, guys, when we walked into 2008 or 2009 is when he introduced the stimulus package, right?
Right.
That was the kind of that was
was
essentially not even the kind of
That was
let's-
Bush's
let's-
package.
The stimulus package.
That was George Bush's package that Obama implemented.
Hey, but it was implemented under whose administration? Big Will?
Hey, but
Anyway,
it's my
so
package,
we've got
you
the
put it
stimulus
in.
package,
So
and
why
he
did they
needed to
fight
have
it so
done.
much?
He needed to have done that because think about it. We walk in and he's bailed out all these auto companies. He's bailed out Goldman Sachs. We've had this housing bubble. Like, come on, really? I'm glad that somebody implemented a stimulus package because we had nothing prior
Yeah.
to that point.
No, and
so
I-
that was how we
yeah.
jump started this great economy that we have now, and we're hoping that
I agree.
your president doesn't bankrupt us.
No,
with
I
trips
agree.
to
When
Mar-a-Lago.
when Trump
Your
came,
president.
no,
Your
when President
Our
Obama,
president.
when President
Y'all
Obama, what
president.
he did, when he
Y'all.
helped,
Red, white, and blue, he's the
when
president.
he helped the Detroit car industry, when that like Detroit was about to be wiped out, and but this is
Was
before
about
we
to be
even.
before George-
But
Oh.
this is before the water thing. I said this is something wonderful that he's done for this country. I don't know if Bush started. I don't know if Obama, if it was his idea. All I know is people did not lose their jobs, and these companies that are American companies were able to grow, pay back the money as soon as they could, because then you had government
But it
looking
let
at your
so
books.
many people off the hook.
Well, if
for
we,
It-
doing
we-
something wrong in that process. You know?
Yeah, but
if
it's
we look at what's happening now, you can see, Walmart is giving higher wages to its workers, but then it's also closing hundreds of Sam's Club
Right.
stores. So it's a trade-off. Like some people are getting, a little treat, if I may, and then the rest of them are getting fired.
And they also
So
cut
it's
hours.
not like
They also cut hours as well. Not all Walmarts are 24 hours. So it's like a lot of people who were counting on, okay, I work around this time. Once they started upping the minimum wage, it's like, okay, well, we're not going to be open 24 hours now.
exactly.
So now y'all
And I
going
think
to.
their
So while
argument
you get
was
paid
like,
more,
since
now
y'all
you get
want
less hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all wanted to
So-
pay us more, so we got to.
It's a give and take when you. It's like, well, not even a give and take. I think a lot of times when you give people something, it looks good right up front, and then it's like a whole bunch of extra stuff behind it that you get later on down the line. Well, you got this. Now you have to deal with this though, and that's what's been
The
happening.
consequences, the unintended consequences, or the intended consequences, depending on who intended what.
But I do think the engagement of people, that's one good thing that we can say about Trump is that he's gotten people to look at things and go, oh, wait just a minute now. Why am I paying for this? Where is my Social Security going to or coming from? Anything like that. It has more civic engagement, and it's at the grassroots level, which I think that's great. Like, there's nothing wrong with having people more engaged in what's going on in our Congress.
Well, yeah, I think we all come together to.
Everybody's coming together.
To
against
hate
him.
it.
No,
Yeah,
but it's not.
I mean,
I'm saying you can come together on
It is very American. I agree. Yeah, it's great.
It's
To
very.
disagree with the president, yeah.
That's fine. I mean, if y'all want to disagree with the president, everyone has that right, and the president also has the right to disagree with a lot of what people say. But
No, what the president is doing, what the president and the Republican Party is doing right now is very dangerous. And I say this with all sincerity. I mean, attacking the press as he has been doing, calling it fake news. And there are so many. I have friends that are reporters that are getting death threats because this man is going out saying these terrible, disparaging things, telling the people to do whatever to members of the press. It's totally unacceptable.
I mean, the press is an industry now. I guess it always has been. But it's like, hey, if an industry wants to take on an opponent who is now president of the United States, you have a battle ahead of you.
Well,
You
that's
pick-
that's
you-
actually the
that's
press's
their
job.
duty.
That's their job. That's
But
what they're
now
there
they got
for.
a man who's completely willing to exchange blows because his brand is as powerful as theirs now. You gotta vote.
Yeah,
That's wild.
but
That's
he's
so, like,
denying
missing the
facts.
forum.
And he works for.
What do you
the
mean?
American
What do
people.
you?
He
Why
works
are
for the
you
people.
Kanye
president
shrugging me? What? So facts don't matter to you? Is that what you're saying to
you
me?
have your media facts, right?
No,
And I have-
facts. I'm not talking
no,
about
no,
me.
no,
I'm
no.
talking about
Facts.
unbiased. You're a journalist. I'm talking
Facts
about
are-
unbiased,
Facts-
straight up,
what are
black and
facts?
white facts.
Facts are the details presented by any given party. I'll give you facts, and you can give me yours, and we can present them to the people and let them decide. But now the media has an opponent who says, I don't like what you say. I don't like the way you portray me. I'll actually combat you with my brand because his brand is
That's
that powerful.
authoritarianism. That is.
No,
that,
I mean, I
that-
think this is free press. He's got his free press and free speech just like everybody else.
But he's the highest man. This is the highest office in the land. And then when you go against the very thing that's in the First Amendment, like, how are you not upholding the very thing that you swore to uphold?
But the press, I feel now it's even more so to do your job. So
They are doing
no,
their
they're-
job, I think.
But they no.
Just because he doesn't
It's-
like what is coming
no,
out
I
doesn't.
said, but there are
doesn't make
sometimes
it-
when I saw that one story was just a flat out lie, and they messed up the dates to say Trump got this email before something was leaked and he knew about it, and then comes to find out CBS News, NBC News, CNN, all of these people perpetuated this lie, and then it's not true, and they all had to go and apologize. And take it back and say, oh, well, this was wrong and we got the dates mixed up. Like, this is what you're doing. The press needs to
There's
actually
a difference between
go
a
back.
mistake or a lie. Was it a straight up
It was-
lie or was
it
it a
was,
mistake?
Hey,
Like
if they
just a
retracted,
mishap.
if they retracted their statement, nobody is to blame. They followed protocol. They handled the facts as they had them, and when the facts presented that they were incorrect, we as an industry make a change. We will continue to fight our fight for the people. That's okay. Just follow the rules.
I was just gonna pretty much say the same thing. Once you go back and apologize for what you did wrong, that's it. But who started this whole media thing, putting it into the media? He was doing that with Obama. He was putting out
He's putting out lies
lies
to the
and
media.
fake news and stuff like
he
that.
started his political career on a lie.
So
He started his political career on a lie.
You can't cry foul.
I think that the cute thing about politics is that they expect everyone in politics to have this short memory. You weren't my friend yesterday, but you're my friend today. And I mean, every administration is guilty of that. With Obama, we saw him say Hillary Clinton is a liar. She's this and she's that. And then, of course, he backed her campaign. I get it. We have short memories in politics. But you cannot be the type of elected official like our president or y'all president,
It's our president.
that y'all's president.
Hey,
that,
one day
you
he
said it right, y'all's president.
when troops
that comes out
American services before you.
and currently we have more troops going out there. Why? Because you want to go and pick fights about your big red button, and you want to go collude with Russia, and you want to do all of this thing. And so now we're pushing more troops out there.
Russia
for what?
is a global ally to a lot of countries in the world.
But not us.
Not us,
That's not
though.
true.
We have
There
sanctions.
are Russian people who are now American citizens who who conduct their international business for the betterment of their people in America.
Yes, for the
and in
betterment
Russia.
of their people in
called-
Russia. That's right.
called good international business.
Vladimir Putin was
Why
the
is it
leader
bad
of the
to be an international
KBG.
businessman?
So let me tell you.
No, please tell me.
This
I
is
need
what
to
they're
know.
doing.
Why is Russia so bad?
Look,
Who's not our
okay,
friend?
so
Russia's
George,
never, they've
so
never
George.
been our. They have Russia.
They've
has
never been our
been-
allies.
That's
No,
what.
they-
When were they?
Okay,
Well, then
here's
give me
my
a history
question.
lesson.
Rush, I'll give you a history lesson
go.
since you want a history lesson.
Yes.
I'll tell
Go
you a
back
fact.
100
Yes.
Let's look at Japan and the dropping of the nuclear weapon, right? And
Hiroshima
what?
and
Yeah,
Nagasaki.
and we all know now what we feel about that. If you were living in Japan at that time, you heard about a bomb going off, and you heard nothing from that city. But what you did hear was that Russia is coming in from the north, and America is dropping bombs over here. We need to surrender because Russia and America have teamed up against us as a unit, and that ended the war in Japan. That ended the war in Europe. That ended the killing in Berlin and turned it into trials and trade. It started the Cold War in Africa and in
Oh,
the
you mean
East
the
Indies.
SO, the
but,
SO countries?
Yeah, but it's like now it's a Cold War, you know?
I mean, and I don't think that we
But that was
ever
kind
got
of
out of
partnerships.
Africa.
That was
Yes.
America
It is. It's
and
54
Russia
countries.
working
Africa is
together to
54
help
countries.
the globe, and they did, and they can.
But I think globally, our economy is so we're all just intertwined together that we really can't have any type of big war. And I think a lot of the division that we have seen in this country has been, it's Russia. Like, we know that those people buy all of these ads just to spread this fake news. And that's where it started. And then earlier you said you have like friends in the media or journalists who are getting attacked or getting death threats and all that. But you have to sit down and go, okay, how do we fix this? Instead of being combative,
It would help if the president of the United States stopped with his rhetoric and
no, but
attacking members of the press.
everyone's going to
That's where it
have
could start.
everyone is going to have a rhetoric. Everything is going to have someone to come at you and say you're a liar. That's the way that life is,
Let me
and
tell you,
that's
here's
yes,
the
it
reality.
is.
Here's the absolute reality. The bar was so high with
It was
Obama
never
that
high.
the Obamas had to jump through all of these
I'm
hoops.
so
Obama
sorry.
walked on water.
And,
I mean,
and he did it masterfully.
Obama walked
but now
on water
you
for
have
8
this,
years.
and now you have this older white man with money that can do whatever
don't
he
do that.
wants, and it's okay.
Well,
and
no.
I'm sick of that.
No,
I'm sick of
okay.
that. It's
I mean,
blatant.
no,
and for
it's
you
not.
guys to sit up here and deny that,
I'm so
I guess
sorry.
The blind
There's
is
no-
on.
there's
But
no
George,
one-
to your point with Russia, yes, that is true. That what you said with what started the Cold War and them joining up with Germany. But does that? I mean, Germany, Japan. But does that still discount them still trying to take us down and wanting to be number
think
one and having
there's this
doing
feeling-
espionage and all
We
of
do
that? And
all
all
the
of this
time.
damage
We do the
to
exact
our
same
countries.
thing.
They're still an adversary.
I'd like to answer that. In my opinion, I think we have this fear sometimes that if other people are building up an arsenal and doing well, that it's against us. But
And
why
that's
is that?
imperialism.
But now there's also this thing called war and resources and the battle for it. And Russia and American we have to do that against each other, and we should do that in a fair world where people aren't oppressed. And I understand that sometimes other countries have to be called in police, like we had in Ukraine and some crimes against humanity.
Yeah,
I get
Crimea,
it, but at the
Crimea.
same time, why just because a man sits down and talks with a Russian, you're colluding with the enemy? No, man. Like, I'm an international businessman and I want to make money for my family. I should be able to sit down and trade with whoever I want, as long as I'm not doing anything illegal.
Okay, but at this point, it's not about him
Money
and his
laundering
family anymore. You've got these
that's what they're
millions.
attacking.
You got these millions of
Attacking
other
man's
families
kids.
that you have to worry about. You're the leader of the free world right now. You know your family. They've all done well for themselves. The business is going well. What about the rest of the world? You keep saying, I want to make business for my family. I want to be successful for my family. But what about the other families, you guys? Like, what? We just don't care about those people.
That's why you can't put a greedy guy into office like that.
I didn't put a greedy guy.
No, I'm just
into
saying,
office.
like it's to be still saying using like you the one who said that, Big Will, but he's trying to make money for his family. They have money, like you say.
Yeah.
you have a job to do. Like that's it. It's not about just your family no more. You need to be worried
It's about him being able to play back Vladimir Putin for all the money that Russia has given him through the business deals that they have done. That's why this Robert Mueller investigation is coming down to money laundering. Because when you follow the money, that's when you get to the bottom of everything. You know, they help this man get into office because they want certain things.
That has been the case for all
this
parts,
is
all
what
sides.
I cannot wait until it comes back and you all have pie on your face when this man is arrested for obstruction of
it
justice.
Is not, but it's not going.
Treason.
It is not going to just be this one president. It's going to be every single person in Congress that has been there longer than 20 years. Everyone has gotten money from someone that they should not have gotten money from, and then you have this. What is it? The Supreme Court passed that bill where, like, if you're a corporation, you can do whatever you want, like, no matter how much money.
Donate to.
Or it's like every 4 years the law changes. Like,
yeah, so so my whole thing is like we've already have this sweeping problem with our Congress, and that is people are able to be bought off. And it's not going to be just Trump. It's going to be the Hillary Clintons, the Muellers, the Sessions, his Sessions' wife. It's going to be every single person because it's all intertwined. You got Goldman Sachs on both sides of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party accepting money. And then it's not just Trump. Like, I think Trump really, as I always say, Sam, Trump is that guy who's going to say, look at me, look at me, look at me, because no, you don't want to go see what's going on behind his back. And it's what Congress is doing.
Okay, let's move on. Damn, I didn't mean to take the whole show talking about his ass.
Like, I really want to talk about DACA. Like, our entire government shut down because we can't come to any conclusion on DACA, and we still have all of these dreamers, these kids, these families here, and we haven't decided what we're going to do. And I think that's crazy. So, Leola, I'm interested to hear your take on that. How do you feel about DACA?
Well, Leola on DACA.
I feel like if you have been in this country, if you've lived in this country your entire life, you don't know where you're going to be kicked out from and where you're going. So I do believe that they need to work out some type of amnesty to that these dreamers that they call them, that they stay in this country because this is their home. If you came here illegally and your parents just brought you over, there should be ways for you to be able to stay here and your family to stay here. Anchor baby, whatever. It doesn't even matter. If you're here and this is all you know, you shouldn't be kicked out of this country. But there needs to be a sweeping immigration reform because I think President Obama tried to do it with that executive rule. And then the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. You don't have the power to do it. And I think it's all comes down to our Congress people. What are they going to do to make sure that these Americans...
They can't agree on anything.
They need to, like, these are Americans. I don't care where your mom is from, where your dad is from. All you know is America. And you've been working here. You've been taught here. That's all you know. So how are you going to just be kicked out of this country?
So that's what I'm concerned about. We have a president now who's speaking out against those who are here on DACA and saying, I'm going to eradicate this program. And I do feel that this is unfairly targeting a certain demographic group because Houston is home to we're the most diverse city in this country. Mm-hmm. I think we surpassed New York recently. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We've got immigrants from every single place you could imagine. But when we talked about sanctuary cities, everybody started pointing fingers like, okay, there goes the Mexicans. But nobody said, what about the Nigerians? What about the Vietnamese? What about any of these other, these targeted people, right? Mm-hmm. We have the model minorities, the Northern Asians. You never hear them bring this up. So DACA is a really big thing because it's, going to take out lots of people, but the people who are going to be unfairly targeted, the Hispanic population.
But I think DACA,
that's the biggest group.
Yeah, it's the biggest. It's the biggest group, but I think all of Americans are going to be affected by it. It's not just. I mean, I will be affected by it, even though I'm not. I'm here. I was born here. Whatever. It's still going to affect people around me, and I just think they really need to sit down. Congress needs to sit down and focus on some type of comprehensive reform. And it's not our president that's going to do it. Our president is not the person that makes the law. We saw when President Obama did that and how it was thrown out of the Supreme Court. And Congress needs to sit down
Yeah,
and they
he's
need
a
to do
leader
their
who's
job.
saying
Well,
he's
we've been
horrible.
saying
You
that
don't have to
Congress
sign it.
needs to do their job ever
No, we
since
need to- I'm just
the
saying-
new class got voted in.
But we need to get- and so
2012.
now-
That's the age-old thing. Congress is not doing
But no
nothing.
one. It's just
But
like
they're
it's,
not.
no, but it's just like when the waiter comes and brings you like crappy food, and then you're like, I can't believe it, you waiter, you stupid, whatever. And then it's like, no, the chef did that, and so everyone. We need to start holding our Congress people accountable.
Yes, and it starts by this year. So let's move on. Speaking of which, we got the primaries this year.
March 6th, you guys. It's
So
gonna be
there's a
voting
lot.
time.
Yeah, March 6th. We got the last day to register to vote is on February the 5th.
February 5th.
The first day of early voting is February the 20th.
Okay.
The last day to apply for a ballot by mail is February the 23rd. And the last day of early voting is March the 2nd, with Election Day on March
I
the
feel like there's about
6th.
to be a lot of seat changes, man.
I hope
There
so.
should
Oh,
be.
yeah,
Don't
you
you
already
feel
see it
like-
across the
There should
country.
be.
People
There
want
should
change.
be. There actually should be. I have seen nothing. Just in Texas, we need some new people. Like, I don't know what's
No,
going.
I think
It's
Texans feel that way. They
yeah,
want some new
we
people.
want some new people. I just know in our district, I want all those people out. Like, we need something to happen. Like what happened in Kingwood, and it was just no one told anyone that they were going to open that dam, and all these people lost their businesses, their homes, and then I just want all those people who knew about it. I want them gone. Like, just go away. Like, let's get some new people in there. And a lot of these places only have Republicans. You have no other person to vote for.
That
So-
was a little tough though.
Yeah.
Yola,
I mean, how
because,
do you use
had they
natural
not released-
disasters to like?
Well, had
No.
they not released that down?
No,
then
they said it was
they-
for the greater good, so it wouldn't hurt Conroe and the Woodlands. So they released the dam and then destroyed all of these homes and businesses. I mean, I'm just saying that's my neighborhood, and I had to, going through there and being like, man, my grandma's house is destroyed.
Yeah, that's
My sister's
understandable.
house destroyed. They lost 3 cars. And in the middle of the night, and they had no warning. How do you, like, that's not right. So I want all of those Congress people who are sitting there and they want our vote, get them out.
All right, yeah. That's messed up.
Hey man, see, somebody's gonna have a new job in the how long?
In-
How many
one
days?
new
In what
job.
district do you
30
live in
days?
again?
I'm District 18. What are you?
120.
No, I'm District 21.
I'm District 127. You're my district.
No.
Oh wait,
What?
you're my
no.
district.
Okay.
Congressional
That's
district 18
congressional.
is
I'm talking about.
Congresswoman
I'm
Sheila
talking about the
Jackson Lee. That's
Texas
Heights.
legislation.
And that's also 3rd Ward. We've got some seats for CD7 coming up. We've got some seats for a few more, and hopefully we'll have them on a future roundtable. Some of
Yeah,
those candidates
and
coming
Fort
up.
Bend.
No,
I
we
know
really
Fort Bend
should. I
County
mean-
has,
That would be
a
awesome.
bunch of.
I mean, we have
of
someone
folks
running
on their
against
ballots,
Sheila
too,
Jackson
for
Lee.
many
Tons
different
coming up.
ones.
What do y'all
Yeah.
think is going to happen
get
with
out.
District 18 with Sheila
Sheila
Jackson Lee
Is she-
has someone going against
So
her?
she's always had opponents, and I have to tread
Yeah.
lightly because you guys, I started in her office as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot of opponents, but she has name recognition. If we're being honest with ourselves, likely the people that vote for her are going to continue to vote for her because, again, name recognition.
Do you think they
She has yet
should?
to have a very worthy opponent.
But do you think they should?
I don't think that she's privy to that.
She is. I would have to say that.
No, I'm
at
just.
the end of the day,
I
At
forgot.
the end
Yeah,
of the day,
I don't want you to
guys-
say anything
Yeah, I
that.
still-
Yeah, I'm trying not to get her in trouble. That's
No,
why I'm
yeah.
like, I don't
No,
think
I'm
that
like,
she's
no,
privy.
no,
No,
girl,
I
we
think
got
it's
you.
something to be
Like, I
said
love
about-
you.
What I'm
Just.
saying is at the end of the day, you guys, it's important for our voters to have education about whoever takes the seat, whether it be Sheila Jackson Lee or another person. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to sway anybody which
No.
way to vote. I don't want to get that call when I leave here today.
No, but
Well, just get out and vote,
everyone get
okay?
out and vote. Research
we
who
need to
you are
look into
voting
that.
for.
Where is your district? Who is running? What?
And you can get all of that information at harrisvotes.com. harrisvotes.com. Panel, thank you so much. And we'll do this again, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
I
thank
was
you,
about
thank
to say,
you.
damn, can I get something? And thank you for listening to Access Houston.